Before we begin, I want to invite you to relax just a little. I'm going to tell you a story about anger, not as something wrong or dangerous, but as something that learned how to protect when no one else did. As you listen, observe your body and take in any information it gives you. So many of us were taught to fear our anger, to silence and manage it, or even judge ourselves for feeling it at all. But anger doesn't appear out of nowhere. Long before anger was made known, there was something that mattered deeply. This story isn't about excusing harm or justifying anger. It's about remembering the protected gifts that anger has been guarding, often alone and misunderstood. As you listen, I invite you not to ask, "Is this me?" but instead, "What in me recognizes this?" When you're ready, we can begin. The Guardian at the Gate. There was once a village built beside a river that changed its course every few years. The people learned to adapt. They learned to bend. They learned to yield. And at the edge of the village, where the land met the water, there stood a gate. The gate was old, heavy, and it was guarded by someone no one liked very much. They called him the Angry One. He was loud when the river rose. He slammed the gate when people tried to cross at the wrong time. He shouted when the children wandered too close to the current. The villagers said he was a problem. "He overreacts," they whispered. "He's too intense. If he just calmed down, everything would be fine." So they tried to ignore him. They walked around the gate. They told the children he was dramatic. They asked him to quiet down, to be nicer, to stop making everyone uncomfortable. And for a while, he did. He stepped back. He clenched his jaw. He kept watch in silence. Until one night, the river surged without warning. The current tore through the village paths, and the water swallowed fields and homes. And it was then they noticed something strange. The gate. The gate was still standing. Bent, scorched, but holding. When the water receded, the villagers approached the Angry One carefully. "You didn't warn us," one said. He looked exhausted. "I did," he replied quietly. "But you only hear me when I shout." They noticed then what he carried. Not a weapon, but a map of the river's patterns. Not rage, but timing etched into his bones. Not cruelty, but care sharpened by years of watching the river take what was precious. They saw that every time he had slammed the gate, it was because the river had shifted. Every time he raised his voice, it was because something living was too close to being lost. The Angry One was not guarding the gate because he loved control. He was guarding it because he loved the village. because he loved the children, because he loved the land, because he remembered every time the river took something no one ever spoke of again. When they finally asked him what he needed, he didn't say silence. He said, "Listen sooner. Trust what I see. Let me speak before the water rises." And slowly, the village learned. They didn't exile him. They didn't hand him the gate forever. They learned to read the river with him. And the angry one, no longer forced to shout, became a guide. Anger is not the storm. Anger is the guardian who learned the weather. The gift was the watchfulness, the care, the refusal to let something sacred be taken again. When anger is heard early, it doesn't need to stand at the gate alone. What is your angry one guarding? When your anger rises, don't ask why. Ask what. Pause before answering. This isn't about fixing, just noticing what feels threatened right now. What mattered here before the anger showed up? What boundary feels crossed or unseen? What part of me feels small, dismissed, or unprotected? What was I hoping for before I became angry? What did I care about enough to feel this? Anger isn't asking to be erased. It's asking to be listened to early. The gift is not the intensity. The gift is what mattered enough to be protected.